how many sports glide riders are there? How many are in your area? I don't know. RevelatorAlf. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're enjoying the channel and the videos. Please like, share and subscribe. Leave loads of comments below and check out the website RevelatorAlf.com. So in this video I'm talking about how many other Harley Davidson bikes do you meet out on the road, and specifically for me, how many other sports glide riders do I meet? Well, actually, in the summer months, you know, you tend to see more bikes on the road anyway, and you definitely see more Harley riders on the road. On a weekend you definitely see more, you know, so that's sort of general across the board. That's not just a slight on Harley riders who only come out the weekend. You know, I think that applies to a lot of people on bikes. But yeah, it's definitely marked you know, thing. Especially with, you know, you get a lot of Harley riders, you just use them at the weekend, that's their days off, whatever, that's when they go out and ride. Fair play, there's no problem with that at all. Now, I was asked in one of the local, one of the recent live streams by a guy called D-Cycle, actually, who check out his channel. He does a lot of sport glide stuff from the States. Subscribe to him, he's really cool, actually. But anyway, he's asked, you know, do I meet many sport glide riders in the area, or have I seen many? And the answer is, well, you know, I've seen a handful, but not too many, I've got to say. The ones that I have seen have either been at the Harley bike nights, or a couple out on the road. I went to a couple of bike meets, bike events, and there saw a few parked up. Mostly, I've got to say, have been completely stock standard, no modifications to them at all. Only a couple had high bars or a couple of different exhausts, but that's about it, really. And this is one of the things that I find with my kind of riding throughout the years, is that a lot of the time, if I'm riding socially, you know, like on my days off type thing, because the way my job works, my primary job works, is that my days off are usually when other people are working. So, you know, I don't usually come across that many bikers socially, unless I go to a proper bike meet, you know, of course, or bike event. As you know, and so a lot of the time I'm commuting, I'm going backwards and forwards, so I see bikes, but don't. And again, when I'm usually on the road, it's usually either ready early in the morning, mid-afternoon, you know, late at night, or in the early hours of the morning coming back. You know, so it's when other people really aren't on the roads that much. So it's great for my riding, enjoying my riding, but not so great in terms of socially. It's one of those things, isn't it? I think you know, you get a bike for lots of different reasons, of course. And for some people, you know, the added bonus of being on a bike or owning a Harley, for example, is everything associated with it. You know, you can get into groups, you can get into clubs if you wanted to, you can get into the lifestyle, you know, all that kind of stuff. Well, for the most part, that's never really, I wouldn't say appealed to me is the wrong word, because I've never really considered it. But it's never really applied to me, because my life has got, you know, kept me from doing that kind of thing. But fundamentally, my biking life has always been about me and the bike, my experience with the bike, how I'm riding, where I'm riding, what I'm feeling to it. It's that connection with it. You know, everything else, whilst it's great, you know, the biking pals and the biking parties and events, it's nice, it's not what I got into biking for. You know, some people might be different. That's what they hang their hat on. You know, they want that sort of social side of it. I suppose that's the difference between being just a normal biker or rider or whatever you want to call yourself, and being in a, you know, a motorcycle club. You know, people get confused with the two. You know, one is you're a biker, you ride bikes and enjoy bikes and do all sorts of stuff, and the other one is, well, yeah, you're a biker, but you're also a motorcycle clubber, or whatever the term is. So, two different worlds, two different sort of things, you know. Being in a motorcycle club is not necessarily about motorcycle riding. It's about, you know, being part of an association of men or women or whatever it is, you know. Now, being as it's a Sunday and I'm going into work, I know, yeah, it's horrible being me, I know, but I would have thought I would have come across more bikes, but would you believe I decided to make a video and never a bike will I see. Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it? Sometimes you have loads of bikes, other times not. Especially this time of day, in the afternoon, late afternoon. You think about, you know, many bikes might be returning back to this area, might see them. There aren't many big bike events going on in other parts of the country today, so, you know, I don't know why there aren't many people out on the bikes. I think sometimes here in the UK the weather plays a huge part in whether people decide to go on a biking day or not. Regardless of what happens during the day with the weather, it's how the day starts. So today, up until about mid-morning, 11 o'clock, it was rain, really heavy rain here, and I've got a feeling that would have put off a lot of people. They were like, no, I'm not riding today, can't be bothered. But now look at it, all the roads are dry, beautiful, great time to go out riding. So maybe that's the reason why. Maybe there's, you know, there's no reason, not many people out. Weather effects, as say, you know, all sort of biking, but possibly Harleys or this kind of cruiser bike crowd more than anything. Because let's face it, you know, you just polished your bike, you washed your bike, and you really don't want to be taking it out in the wet and just getting all dirty again. People get, you know, really fed up of, you know, cleaning their bikes sometimes. I don't mind, you know, if it has to stay dirty for a couple of days, it doesn't bother me really. We've gone past that precious phase. Right, made it through the traffic. Still can't believe there aren't any bikes about. Not even parked up or anything. Very odd indeed. Yeah, I've got a feeling that everybody's been scared off the bikes. Can't believe it. Surely not. Surely that's not the case. Surely, you know, people are out and about riding their bikes, whatever it is. But you know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot to be said for that. Not just Harley riders, but let's say, you know, you associate it, you know, with the chrome and the washing of your bikes and all that kind of stuff. I remember this first bike that I've seen. But I remember this old Triumph I had, this old Triumph Speedmaster. Great bike, you know, it was like a cruiser style bike. Nice it was. But, you know, it's just, I used to ride it in all weathers, and it just used to come, I used to clean it, and it used to come back caked in the stuff, you know, road crud and everything, and then you'd wash it again, and you're like going, oh, do I really have to wash it? And then you go out on it again, and it's just like, oh. I remember this old bobber I had, you know, I would ride that on all weathers, and it was the most unreliable bike I've ever built or even owned, and it was forever, you know, getting dirty. In the end, do you know what it is? Because it wasn't my only bike out of the bike. I would only take it out on dry days. You know, it wasn't so much. It'd be any time of year, but as long as the road was dry, so I didn't have to wash the bloody thing afterwards. You know, that's what I did. Oh dear, that's not my finest hour. I'm not necessarily proud of that. But you know, I did say I added the bikes as well, so it wasn't my only bike. But blimey, that was funny. Anyway, right, so, well, that's it. You know, if people ask me, you know, do I see many other Harley riders? Yeah, occasionally. And they do tend to congregate around Harley dealerships or Harley bike nights and stuff like that. You know, I go to rallies and things. Yeah, look, you get Harley riders. Of course you do, or rallies over here in the UK. But, you know, rally crowd are different to maybe the ones in the United States and stuff like that. You get a much more eclectic bunch of bikes. you don't just get cruisers or, you know, Harley ride. In fact, the Harley crowd in the UK is kind of separated from that. You know, you got your own hog meets, you know, you got your own, you know, their own chapter meets and all that kind of stuff. So it's, you know, it's slightly different, although there is no mutual exclusivity. There can be a separation. And, you know, the modern rider, I'd say the last 15-20 years, the way the demographics have changed, Harley, bike ownership in general, but Harley ownership has definitely changed the last sort of 15-20 years. Yeah! Woohoo! Have a bit of that, son. Have a bit of that. Lovely. I've got to say, this helmet is the noisiest helmet I think I've ever had the misfortune of owning. It's a flip helmet, you see, and flip helmets aren't very good for noise reduction, but I keep on thinking, well, I'll just keep it, you know. And but I really should invest in the helmet. Well, there you go. I saw one come in the opposite direction. I walked on past me. He didn't say hello, did he? Bloody hell, ignoramus. Right. That's another thing that we get. Now, you probably get this all over the world or wherever you. I just don't get to this myself. I just don't get the way people may act just because you're riding a different type of bike. Sports bike riders, you know, won't say hello to cruisers. Cruiser bike Harley riders won't say hello to other people. Adventure bike riders, there you go, look, there's another one, didn't say hello back. Adventure bike riders won't say hello to each other or to other people. Sometimes different types of adventure bike won't say hello to other types. Weird. I'm not sure if it's that. I think times have changed as well. People are just not concerned about waving or nodding to other riders, or don't even care about if somebody's broken down on the side of the road and whether they want to pull over and, you know, offer any help. I think they generate that. I've said this time and time before. I've written about it so many times before as well. I think that generation is losing, is dying out. People just don't care. People just don't nod, don't care, you know. And some people say can get quite arrogant about it, say, well, I don't know you, so why would I bother riding? Well, you know, come from different schools, really. Different schools, because back in the day, we'd all keep an eye out for each other. Whether you knew each other or not, it's irrelevant. You know, you're all, you know, facing the same issues on the road, so you'd all, and the numbers were probably less as well, so you probably, you know, just keep an eye out for each other. Now, you know, so many more, I suppose. People into doing other things. They just don't care. You know. Anyway, I mean, you know, it doesn't bother me so much. I mean, I do think though, if you nod and you know somebody's looking at you, you can tell when somebody's looking and they totally blank you. That is, you know, it's just like, well, screw you. No, no, but there you go. Anyway, well, I would have loved to said to you, look, there's millions and millions of bikes out today, and there's millions and millions of sports glide riders or Harley riders or whatever, Kawasaki riders, Honda riders, Triumph riders, but there aren't, which is, you know, a bit disappointing, really, isn't it? Let's face it. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm getting approaching work now, so I'm going to have a little bit of a burn down that way, and that way, and catch you on the next video, whenever that is. Please like, share, subscribe, leave loads of comments below. Let me know about some of the issues that, you know, I've discussed, meeting other bikers, nodding, all that kind of stuff. How many other bikes you see, how many other Harley riders do you see, all that kind of stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'll also know whether you watched the video all the way to the end. Haha, you see, cunning plan. Right, check out the website, RevelatorAlf.com, and I'll catch you on the next video, whenever that is. Bye now.
RevelatorAlf.